Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Nuran Issa Kamaldin, part owner of Mizan's Tasty Treats. We are a small baking business operated from home by myself and my sister Lamise. So we basically do anything from savory platters, mini fancies, celebration cakes, puddings, to mention but a few. So all of our items are generally displayed on our Facebook page, which is Mizan's Tasty Treats. We post it daily on it, so you can see what we're up to all the time. Feel free to go and like our page, share it with your friends. However, today I'm going to be making my chicken and mushroom eggless quiche. So for my quiche, I've chopped up one onion. I'm going to chop up some mushrooms that will be added to the filling at a later stage. So in the meantime, I'll just explain to you a little bit about the ingredients that I have on the table, which is the 2 chicken fillets, which was actually minced. I just find that it's your preference whether you want to use the chicken mince or the actual chicken breast and just cut it up. It's completely up to you. So to the filling itself, you're going to have some butter, some garlic with your onion. Also you're going to add a few of our other spices that we have, which is the sweet dried basil, the crushed chili, and then we'll just go on to making the white sauce, which we'll add to the filling at a later stage. So this recipe was actually my grandmother's. You know, it's common to, when you think of quiche, you think about something with egg. So some people don't even like egg. I don't even like egg. So when you're thinking of making quiche, this is a good alternative, seeing that there's no egg. So I'll just continue chopping up the mushrooms and then we'll get it ready to start our filling. So to start our quiche filling, we're gonna get our pot going on about a medium heat. Okay, so to the pot, we're going to firstly add about 2 teaspoons of butter. It does not have to be pure butter, any butter that you have in your fridge. So we're just going to add 2 teaspoons of butter to the pot. To that, we're going to add our onions. You don't have to worry if it's like not chopped too finely. We're just going to cook it until it's about translucent, not until it's brown. So to that, we're going to add our sweet dried basil. The sweet dried basil just gives the quiche a nice flavor. You can use oregano if you'd like. My preference is just the sweet dried basil. So we're just going to allow the butter to melt and cook the onions at the same time. Like I said, it does not have to be brown, just translucent. Okay, so now that our onions are nice and translucent, to that we're going to add our minced up chicken. So as I mentioned before, you can choose the option to use the chicken fillet and sliced up. I just feel that with the minced chicken, it's just the right amount of chicken. So while the chicken is now going to be cooking with the onion, to that we're just going to be adding our stock, which can be chicken or veggie, depending on what you prefer. So I'll just add about 2 teaspoons of the stock to the chicken itself, and we'll allow that to cook with the chicken. Okay, so we're just stirring up the onion, making sure that it's mixed in nicely with the minced up chicken. Okay, so now once our chicken has been cooked with the onions and the sweet dried basil, we're just going to add our last 2 ingredients to that, which is our crushed chili. Just about a teaspoon. You don't want to make it too spicy. So we'll add a teaspoon of crushed chili, and then also just about 1.5 teaspoons of crushed garlic. You can use fresh or the regular store-bought garlic. It's completely up to you. So the reason why I add the garlic and the crushed chili last, with the chili, the longer it stands, it tends to become quite potent. So we don't want it, like I said, to become too spicy. And also the garlic, we add it last so that it keeps the garlicky taste. We don't want the garlic to burn either. So in the meantime, while this is cooking, I'm going to now just add the mushrooms to that. Once the mushrooms has been has been added and it's cooked through, this segment of the filling would then be done. So for our white sauce, we're going to be adding our butter, firstly to a pot that is on a medium heat. We're going to add about a tablespoon of butter, allow that to melt. To that, we're going to add about a tablespoon or two of all-purpose flour, depending on the thickness that you would like for your white sauce. So we're just going to give the butter a minute to melt, and then we'll add our flour to that. So we're just going to now add the 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. You can just mix that in with our melted butter. Once that is combined, we're just going to add a cup of milk. If you feel that you need more than a cup, that is completely up to you. We'll just whisk that in. To that mixture, we'll then add our packet of cream of mushroom soup. And we just continue whisking throughout the entire process. Okay, so to finish up my white sauce, I just put in a pinch of salt and pepper. It's also to taste, so if you're not a salty person, then you'll obviously add a little bit less than what I would. So just a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and then about a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic to that, and then that will be your white sauce. So our quiche filling is now complete. All that's left for us to do is just to add our white sauce to the chicken and mushroom mixture. So we're just going to do that now. You don't have to have any heat on the pot at this step. The cooler the white sauce can be, the better. So we're just going to add the white sauce to the chicken and mushroom mixture, and then we'll be done. So our quiche filling is now complete. We've allowed it to cool for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just going to be showing you now how to fill the little pastry cups. So you can use any size dish that you'd like, as long as it's lined with pastry. This one is homemade, however you can buy the general normal store-bought pastry. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to fill the cup with about a tablespoon of the quiche filling. You don't want to overfill it, otherwise it will cook over. I'm just going to do about 3 just to show you guys. Okay, so we're going to add the chicken filling first. To that, we're just going to top it up with some cheese. You can use cheddar. That is the one that melts the best once it's baked. The Gouda or sweet milk cheese doesn't melt as nicely. You want to steer away from the processed cheeses as well. So once the cheese is on the top of the filling, we're just going to take some of the sweet dried basil that we used in the filling previously, and we're just going to throw some on the top of the quiche itself. So as you can see, we just filled them with the filling and the cheese. These are now ready to bake. It will bake for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how dark you would like your quiche. Yeah, so our quiche just came out of the oven. It's finished baked. We just let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes before we put it onto the table. As you can see, this is our final product. Just a tip with the quiche, this is such an easy recipe. You can make it in a variety of flavors. You can make it in spinach and feta, steak and mushroom, to mention but a few. So this recipe specifically was taught to me by my grandmother, Khadija Isak. She's always my go-to when I need to know how to do this in the old school recipes. My mom, however, would always still say that her recipes are the best. It's debatable. Okay, so from myself, I would like to wish all my family and friends a blessed Ramadan and a joyous Eid Mubarak. This is my plate. Bismillah.